keeping your vehicles in climate controlled. Your windows fog up as soon as you pull outside.
What are we doing today, Ryan?
We are going to go up and visit GSpeed. They have configured a new cooling package for our Corvette, and they're going to show us around their shop and some of the projects they have going on and I think their assembly. And anyway, it seemed like a great time to go check out a cool place and pick up the stuff we need for the next part of our project.
That's a lot of Porsches.
Yeah, they do cup car support.
Oh my God. We passed through it last time. I didn't even realize they were right here.
Ooh.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Oh, not bad. How you doing, man?
Good to see ya.
Good to see you.
What is this off of?
So this is off a LMP3.
All right.
So you've got the chopped carbon pad. Horrible cold, but when they're hot, you can't beat them. Basically, we try to make sure we've got everything on hand to, if you're out here running, you have an issue, we can get the car fixed, get you back out on track so you don't lose any track time. Because, you know, that's the most hated thing ever is losing track time. But we're direct with all of the brands that we carry, OMP, Sparco, Stilo, Bell, HJC, pretty much anything and everything, fluid-wise. Motul and Driven are mainly what we carry. Try to stay with the top tier stuff. That way there's no doubt or concern on overall performance. Yeah, that car's actually out of West Texas. It's running all of our cooling package. It's here. He had purchased a Motec plug and play. He's been fighting some issues with it, so he called me up and was like, hey, can I bring you the car, get you guys to do your firmware for the plug and play and everything, make some updates, and then take care of a bunch of other stuff on the car. And then we're going to tune it again. It should be making over 600 at the wheels, and it's been struggling to get over 5.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so with the updates and everything, and then we'll put it on the dyno down the hill, get it where it needs to be. That's why we're so focused on controlling the build from start to finish.
Oh, it makes sense that way you can deliver a solid product.
Yeah.
No, totally. So,
Definitely.
yeah, our testing was 5 laps out here to realize that it was getting hot, and those weren't even fast laps. So we're like, well, okay. Well.
Yeah. This is the service area. We do driveline work, suspension work, you know, the diff trans swap stuff as well, swapping out engines, down to, you know, like basic in and out service, brake pad changes, brake flushes, stuff like that. He was here to run the car and still factory brake master cylinder, reservoir, everything. We had done the Penske package on it. He went out and about midway through the session, he went into the big sweeper, big bend, to the front straight. Went to go to the brakes, pedal felt good, and then all of a sudden went to the floor. It actually pushed the reservoir off of the master, and then when it spit the brake fluid, it lit that off of the headers. Babied around, came in pit lane, didn't even stop on pit lane, came down here, and it had melted the hood release cable.
Oh man.
So we couldn't get the hood open. We actually had to break the hood to get it up, put the fire out.
Oh jeez.
So now we're in the process of doing repairs for him. The inner fender structure was heavily damaged, so we've got a new one of those. So we're just in the process of cleaning up lines, seeing what else needs to be addressed while we're in there, and then we'll finalize the repairs. This particular car, the customer that owns it has a 72 Pantera that's LS swapped.
That's cool.
And we've done a bunch of work on the Pantera. Well, his best friend that lives in DC bought this car about 12 years ago, brought it over from Japan, and he's been hounding him ever since, sell me the car, sell me the car. And so year before last, he finally talked him into selling it, and he was sending me emails about it and stuff, and he's like, yeah, he drives it in DC on the street. And I'm like, no, not a chance. And he's like, I'll send you pictures. So he sent me pictures. It's in front of the National Mall there in DC on the street, a couple other places around DC, and I'm like, what did the cops do? He goes, oh, he waves at them and they wave right back. He hasn't been stopped yet. And I'm like, no. And he brought it out, so now he's got a Texas plate for it. He's driven it on the street over in Dallas. I mean, it's full tube chassis car. It's got a 3.2 Mondial engine in it.
Okay.
It's on Motec. It has had a lot of work done. There was a lot of stuff that was not necessarily bad, but everything was so old it needed to be addressed. So the car came to us, basically he had already put the engine in. He was wanting it to make it into a track car, an actual track car. And so it started off kind of small, let's clean this up, clean that up. Started doing a little more fabrication. The column package that's in it is kind of a variation of what we do in the Corvettes. So it's got a Woodward column, and then we make our own components and stuff to make everything come together. But it's been one little thing after another. Some of the builds we'll start out at small, and then once they see the initial work that we do, it's like, okay, what if we do this? Can we add this? Let's go ahead and do this. So that short 4 to 5 week project turns into a 6 to 10 month project because we're adding more aspects of the build and everything as well.
Got a lovely Japanese C5 right next to an American C5.
Right.
So what's some of the differences between like a spec Corvette car and like the WRL? Like what are some of those major differences that you see in like developing a car?
Spec Corvette, they really limit to try and control costs. WRL initially kind of started out, it was going to be a cost-effective endurance series. And then within, I think it was 3 years, it began to gain the name of Baby IMSA, because guys were showing up with GT4 Caymans and, you know, these complete outlandish builds, you know, BMW factory GT4 cars, stuff like that. So spec Corvette, you're limited, you have a specific shock package, specific brake package, wheel and tire combinations are specific. What you can do with the engine, you're limited on horsepower. So either a stock LS6 will make the power you're supposed to have, or you can do, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 mods to like an LS2 or LS3 to meet the power point. So it's a real tightly controlled, so it keeps it real competitive.
Quick interruption, just so y'all have everything. So just so you're aware, so this is obviously your AC line. I kept it out because you don't want anything bent.
Yep.
Your condenser and another AC line, and then you have like basically a radiator here. This is kind of hodgepodge stuff, and this is your actual lay down. So if you want to lay it down, I would push it that way.
Okay.
That's gonna be my only kind of recommendation.
Doesn't matter.
You said it. You did the line. Now it's not going anywhere.
Such a dad thing to say.
Oh, I do it.
Here you go. That's not going anywhere. Perfect. Cool. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Thanks for coming up. Appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks again.
All right.
Yeah, next time the car's here, I'll bring it by.